problem, we have negative 4 equals negative 6 minus x. As usual, we'll balance through the equal sign. We want to get the x alone. This time on the right side, we have to get rid of that standalone number first, those 6 negatives first, and we get rid of those 6 negatives with 6 positives on both sides. Negative 4 plus 6 is 2. 6 and negative 6 subtract out. Don't lose this negative now. We have negative x left over. However, we remember negative x, we can always assume there is a 1 in front. That's the same as negative 1 times x, which means to get rid of the negative 1, to get the x alone, we divide by the number. Divide by negative 1 on both sides. The negatives 1's divide out, and x is equal to...
Notice that we have 6 minus 4x equals 46, and our variable x is on the left side of the equation, and we have an integer of 46 on the right. So that means we want to move this 6 to the right-hand side of the equation. And in order to do that, we need to subtract it. But we need to do it from both sides to keep our equation balanced. 6 minus 6 is 0, so I can cross off the 6's. On the left-hand side, we're left with negative 4x equals 46 minus 6, which is 40. Now we have negative 4 times x equals 40, and because we have multiplication, we need to divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which in this case is negative 4. The negative 4's will cancel one another out because negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. So we have x on the left, and 40 divided by negative 4 is negative 10.
Take the first example together. You ready? It says negative 4x plus 11 equals a negative 5. Okay, so you're going to solve this equation like you solve any equation. The first step is to draw a T to separate both sides of the equation. Okay, now I want you know how the next thing we do is we circle x? Okay. From now on, I'm going to say circle the term. What is the term? The term is negative 4x, right? Circle the term, because this is what you're getting by itself. Okay, you're getting it on one side of the T. Look at the number next to the term. It's positive 11. What is the opposite of positive 11? It is negative 11. So I say subtract 11 from both sides. Now we'll do the operations. A positive 11 and a negative 11 make 0. Okay, bring down negative 4x. Okay, so negative 4 is the coefficient. X is the variable. They're touching because they're married. Now, we need to do the operations on this side. These are integers, right? Do they have the same sign or different signs? What do they have? Same signs, right? They're both negative. So you say same signs, add and keep. So you're going to add these two numbers together, but you're going to keep their negative sign. 11 plus 5 is going to be what? It's going to be, what's 11 plus 5? Anybody? 11 plus 5? I'm not going to tell you. What is it? It's 16. Very good. Okay. Okay, I have a question. Do you have a negative coefficient? Yes? Okay, so what are you going to do to both sides to try and get Miss X to be a single lady? She wants to get a divorce, right? What do you have to do to both sides? You have to do what? Divide both sides by, not 4, negative 4. That's right. So you're going to divide both sides by a negative 4. Okay. So a negative 4 divided by a negative 4 is 1, because any number divided by itself is 1. Now let's find out what is x. Okay. So this says negative 16 divided by negative 4. We are dividing integers, so we're going to use what? We're going to use Bob's cousin. And he says to you, draw this. He says, a negative divided by a negative is positive. Okay? Circle that positive mouth. Positive. All right, so Okay, so just do the division part. You know, we're really talking about 16 divided by 4. We skip count by 4. We say 4, 8, 12, 16. So the answer is going to be a positive what? How many times did I skip count by 4? It will be a positive 4. Now, it'll be very important that you know how to circle the term. What's the term? What is the term? It's negative 2x, right? So please circle that. Okay. Now you look at the number that's next to the term. The number or the integer is negative 7. And you ask, what is the opposite of negative 7? It is positive 7. So you're going to add 7. Make sure you put the 7 under the 7, not under the 2x. Okay? You're going to add 7 to both sides. All right. And then we do the operations. We say a negative 7 and a positive 7 make 0. Bring down the negative 2x, okay? The coefficient is negative 2. What is it? Negative 2. The variable is x. Okay, so here, I'm going to ask you a question. 18. How do we figure out what x is? It says, what number times negative 2 gives you a positive 18? What do we have to do to both sides of this equation? We have to divide by what? We have to divide by the negative coefficient. The what? The negative coefficient. So you divide both sides by negative. This cousin says either that a negative divided by negative is positive, or you go this way too. A positive divided by a negative is, and circle this side, negative, right? Okay. So the answer, again, positive divided by a negative is negative. You're going to write the answer as negative. Answer is x equals negative. Okay, let's solve the last positive here. Even though it wasn't there, this is a positive 6. What is the opposite of positive 6? Negative 6. So we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. And negative 6, same signs or different signs? They have the same sign. So what are you going to do to these two numbers? Same signs, add. You're going to add them and keep the negative 9. Okay, negative 9. That's fine. If you want to get rid of it, you have to divide by it. So you're dividing by a negative 3. Okay. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. So now we can get x by itself. All right. So the answer here is positive 3.